Professional basketball player Smush Parker is my guest on today's Travel Wins podcast. Smush Parker has played for several NBA teams, as well as playing overseas in various countries and even continents for the past 10 years. Smush was nice enough to share some of his stories about travel, the better places to visit, including Greece, and some of the harder conditions to play in, including Russia. It was great to have an opportunity to talk to Smush about being a traveling professional basketball player, just for that matter, a professional athlete. I look forward to catching up with him this weekend at one of his clinics. You can go to www.smushparkerelite.com or check him out on his Instagram page, Smush Parker Elite. He's giving free clinics to kids 8 and up at the Venice Beach Boardwalk, and then playing later that night for Byron Scott's Primetime League. Here you go, guys. Here's my podcast with Smush Parker.
How you doing today, Smush?
I'm doing pretty good, Pete. How you doing?
And it's a blessed Monday. I'm having a great day so far.
Okay.
On my Travel Wins podcast, I like talking about people that travel. And when I looked up your history, you played in Greece. You played for 6 different NBA teams. You played for a Russian team, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, and then the Mongolian National Basketball Association. Did you ever think when you were growing up in New York City you'd be doing that much world traveling?
I had no idea I would have left New York City to play basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
Basketball has definitely opened the door for me to travel the world, and I'm taking full advantage of it now.
Yeah, I mean, you're under 40 still, and just to have that many experiences, it's just got to be mind-blowing for a kid that grew up in New York City.
It's definitely been a blessing to have been able to travel the world and play this game of basketball on different parts of this planet.
Yeah, I mean, I personally can't imagine it, but when you played, I guess for any of the NBA teams, how was it getting used to a new city and just living in a new place?
I've always found it exciting, and I like new experiences, hence why I've played so many places overseas. I like to, try and live and learn and experience new walks of life, new cultural people, new ethnic groups. So I never found it hard to kind of adapt to a new environment or had issues with having to adapt to a new environment. So I enjoyed, playing in and when I was in the NBA for, many other teams, 6 teams, so I look forward to my new experiences.
That's awesome. How did you balance the work versus the life? You got to work, and it means you got to travel and all that, and then you got friends and family that you want to obviously spend time with. How'd you balance that?
You talk about when I was here in the NBA or overseas?
Yes. Probably a little easier when you're in the NBA because at least you're in the country. But
Exactly. When I was here in the States playing in the NBA, I was maybe I wasn't a drive away to see some family, but I was always reachable.
Yeah.
I was always a flight away. I was always a train ride away. When I go across the water, that's a different kind of isolation.
Yeah,
that means I'm I'm not as easily accessible to my family, and I'm not easily accessible to them. So that takes a whole different kind of mental preparation and mindset, and it's tough for playing overseas. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter traveled a little bit overseas for school and just in general, and all of a sudden it's 16-hour time difference, and we're trying to video FaceTime and this and that, and like,
yeah, that's tough.
It's 3 a.m. here.
Yeah.
But okay. Hey, what was the best experience you had, or what was the best city that you visited while working?
Well, that's easy for me. My many experiences playing overseas, I definitely have to give playing in Greece, the nod to that. Greece is definitely one of the better countries I've played in. Saloniki, they spell it this Saloniki, but it's pronounced Saloniki.
Okay.
That city is amazing, and if I had the opportunity, I would actually retire there.
To get back there?
Yeah, I'd like to retire and live there, live my days out in Greece.
Well, now you're making me want to visit it.
No, that's a must. Greece is a must. That has to be on one. That has to be the top 5 bucket list things or places to go.
Well, now you've convinced. I always wanted to see it just because of the white buildings and the blue roofs and all that type of thing. But
exactly, that's all a part of that experience too.
Yeah, and then that food I don't mind as much. I'm not Greek food. I don't with the hummus and the
it's not only just Greek food there. There's all sorts of different kinds of food there. The islands there are beautiful. They have some of the best beaches in the world. It was the first and only time I've ever experienced different colored sand beaches.
Oh wow!
So they have, of course, we all know the white sand beaches. That's our typical what a typical beach looks like. But then they have red sand beaches. They have black sand beaches. It was amazing. It's amazing. If you ever get a chance, look up a red sand beach and a black sand beach.
I'm writing it down as we speak. Actually, what was the hardest place for you to live? Whether it was the weather, whether it was the food, whether it was.
I've had a couple, terrifying experiences. One, I'm gonna say, there's a lot of places where the weather was just very, very harsh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, Russia, the weather was extremely harsh there for me and my body type. I don't work well in cold weather.
I'm with you.
And it was hard for me to really, really function in Russia. And I actually acquired a really bad back injury in Russia because of the weather.
Oh, just because it was too cold and you weren't loose enough?
Yeah, not at all. Never was able to get loose. And I actually spent, about 3 weeks in the hospital with a back injury. Yeah.
I live in Cali, and my wife's from Detroit, and she keeps talking about wanting to go back there. I'm like, no.
To Detroit?
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's just weather-wise. I'm like, come on. I don't know if I would do well in the Detroit winters.
Yeah, I'm over these cold, harsh winters. I'm almost about to give up on New York City.
Where you plan? Well, other than Greece, where would you want to go?
I don't know. This year I'm actually entertaining going out to Sweden to play in Sweden this year. That'll be a new cool experience that I've been wanting to get to for a long time now. I'm entertaining China again. What are the places? My agent said that Indonesia might be a possibility. I like going to places I've never been to. For vacation or play ball. So I definitely like to take advantage while I'm still young.
No, I hear you.
Travel and play basketball.
Literally, I mean, anybody that's made it to the NBA and then playing professional basketball, you're the envy of tens of thousands of kids out there that's where they want to be.
Tens of thousands. I think you're throwing basketball a little short. About tens of millions now. Basketball is a global sport now.
Yeah, no, you're right. But that's just it's interesting. It's like you're at the highest level. I mean,
yeah.
And the idea that you get to travel and live in different places, doing a sport that you love doing, it's a good feeling.
It's definitely a good feeling.
Hey, so for any of my listeners, do you have any travel hacks or tips when you travel? I mean, obviously you would move to Greece or Sweden or China. What kind of tips do you go through?
Always bring a can of Lysol with you. bring a can of, no matter where you go, bring a can of Lysol with you. That's one of my must-haves. Like it's number one on my, if I'm traveling out of the country, that's the number one thing that I have to travel with, like a spray can of Lysol. And wherever I'm staying in the hotels, or I spray down everything.
I hear you. See, you sound like my wife. I travel. I travel about 150 days, 120, 100 to 150 days a year for work, and she's like, clean it, do this, here's the wipes, wipe down the the knobs, wipe down this.
Exactly. Yeah, I spray the knobs, the telephones, the light fixtures, the sheets, the seats, wherever I'm gonna be comfortable and like sitting down and lying down, or I'm exposing myself for most of the trip. I like to just disinfect the area.
I hear you. I'm in the same boat, my friend. and then I always know I don't keep track so much of the good hotels. It's the bad ones that I go, nope, not staying there. Can't stay there again. Can't stay there. When you're traveling and living your life playing basketball, how important was diet for you when you were on the road for a game?
Well, when I was, you talking about the NBA still, or you talking about in general?
Well, in general. I mean, obviously you probably have, I'm assuming.
Well, you know what? I wasn't really big on diet, and that's something I needed. I should have been more alert and aware of, and it should have been thought about more. But I am gonna say this. I was big on eating a healthy or a big lunch before a game. So when I was young, I don't know why, but when I was young, I read up on how Michael Jordan prepared for his game.
Right.
He said that, before each game, he had, a steak and some potatoes, like something hearty like that, maybe 2 hours before the game. So that by the time he got to the game, he wasn't full, but he wasn't hungry. So, his body could be able to function well.
Right,
so
on the balance.
Yeah. I made it I try to follow those lines where I always ate something big 2 hours before the game. I didn't like to eat right before the game because I didn't want all that food sitting in my stomach.
Yeah.
But I did want a nice hearty meal in my stomach so my body could function at its highest levels.
Oh, that's great. See, I was the same way when I was in my 20s and 30s, even into my 40s. I just ate whatever.
Mhm.
And if I stopped when I was traveling and I did a 400-mile drive to get to where I'm going, just stop where you stop. Now I'm definitely more conscientious of I got to try and eat something with greens. I got to get some fruit.
Yeah,
I got to
exactly. Well, that comes with age. I remember in my 20s, I didn't think about anything that I ate, and I just ate it. And I was 165 pounds soaking wet.
I'm with you on that one.
Now I can't even. If I look at something that may look unhealthy, I put on 20 pounds.
no comment. I always tell the young guys that I talk to, just wait.
Exactly.
I was the stupid, cocky kid just like you.
Mhm.
And you hit that point where you go, wow.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
Exactly. So I try to tell the young kids to develop healthy eating habits while they're young, because if they continue eating unhealthily, their body's going to their body's going to change. If their diet doesn't change, then they're going to start processing this food differently, and the weight is just going to come super fast and go super slow.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. My daughter played lacrosse in high school, and we had a big whole day tournament, and she decided on her own to eat like healthy food. She didn't eat no soda, none of the sugars, just ate like pretty clean food.
Okay.
And after the tournament, we're driving home, and she said she had never felt better playing in a tournament. I think we had 4 games that day. And she said she never felt crappy. She was up and going the whole time. So ever since then, she's eaten clean. She kind of proved it to herself.
Wow, okay. That's
and
good.
I'm like, I wasn't like that when I was 18, 19, 20.
Nope.
On the road. Now you're doing, you have been doing a lot of the youth clinics and mentorship programs.
Yes.
What advice do you give, or would you give the kids when they start traveling for basketball?
When they start traveling for basketball?
Whether it's middle school, high school travel ball, they get into high school and they're still on travel teams.
I don't know if my message is geared to, just specifically when they start traveling, but just my message to all athletes, young, old, but to the young kids that I talk to, they have to believe in themselves. That's one thing that I preach. They have to believe in themselves. They have to believe if they want to make it to the NBA, they have to believe they can make it to the NBA. If they want to become a doctor, they got to believe that they can become a doctor. Because there's going to be a lot of people in a lot of situations that arise that it's going to make it look like they can't do it. People are going to tell them that they can't do it. Circumstances are going to tell them that they can't do it. And they can't get caught up in their circumstance, or they can't get caught up into listening to other people. Yeah. Because if they do that, then their dreams will never happen. It'll never happen for them. So at the end of the day, when I tell them how I made it was, I had more people tell me that I couldn't make it than they told me that I could.
Yeah.
But I made it strictly because I knew I was good enough, and I believed I could make it. No matter what happened, I knew I was going to make it to the NBA. And I have a story. I think I'm gonna write a book eventually, but I have a story that I could back that up 100%. And I totally believe if you have a mindset that you say you're gonna make it and believe it, no matter what happens, you're gonna make it, no matter what.
Yeah, well, the book would be a great idea, I think, for you. You'd be able to reach more people, or maybe just a different set of people. The one thing I've been learning with this is some people are auditory, some people are visual, some people are want to read.
Yeah.
So it's not just about maybe having a clinic. Because I coached lacrosse, high school lacrosse for 6 years, and every kid was different. How do you get across to them? And some kids don't like to be yelled at. Some kids hate being yelled at. I don't think one coaching style fits all players.
Not at all. Not even close. And I'm glad you said that because I actually played in the NBA for 3 Hall of Fame coaches.
Yeah.
And they all had 3 different styles. One, I played for the Larry Brown in Detroit.
Oh, wow.
I played for Pat Riley in Miami. And I played, of course, for Phil Jackson in L.A. And they all have different coaching styles, every single one. And for me, I flourish more under Phil Jackson. I love his coaching style. I love his coaching methods. And, not to say that those other 2 coaches aren't great coaches. They just weren't a comfortable fit for me.
Yeah. And that's huge. I always tell the girls when I was coaching lacrosse, they would go on recruiting trips. And I would tell them, this is, in high school, you get the coach you get.
Yes.
Whereas in college, my daughter went on some recruiting trips and all that, and she just didn't gel with the coach.
Okay.
And it was like, I go, it's a great program and this and that, but you want to spend 4 or 5 years with somebody you basically don't get along with. You get to choose this now.
Yes.
That's a big, in NBA, you don't really get to choose. You get drafted and they go, you play here.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that you would say that. Hey, so what do you have upcoming, and what's the best way for people to reach you?
Well, upcoming, like you mentioned, I'm working with the kids right now. I'm doing a lot of free basketball camps and clinics for the youth. I'm actually on a world tour right now. Well, not a world tour, a nation tour. I had one in Miami 2 weeks ago. I'm having one in California on Venice Beach, September 15th. This weekend.
Yeah.
I'm also still currently playing myself professionally. Like I said, I'm looking to go over to Sweden. I'm entertaining China and Indonesia at the moment. But right now I'm in transition. I think I'm going to go into building this platform where I inspire kids to, believe in themselves, to work on their skills. I have a lot of, I believe I have a lot of high basketball IQ. And there's a lot of knowledge I want to share with the youth. I believe there's a gap that's missing from basketball players, from the high school level to the college level, and the NBA level to the college level. There's a lot of information that these kids aren't getting. I just want to bridge that gap and let them know that some of these skills that they're working on, they're not even looking for that at the next level.
What do you think's missing from that?
Huh?
Is it? Where do you think it's getting missed? Is it at the high school coaching level? Is it the club coaches? Is it?
Well, each level of basketball, there's a certain level of basketball being played. There's tricks. I wouldn't even call it tricks. It's just knowledge. It's just, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a level of play that guys are playing at, and then you also have to have like this. You have to think on the fly. You got certain moves work on one level, but at the next level, the game is a lot faster and quicker and stronger. So you have to refine certain moves. And in the NBA, if you look at the stats in the NBA, more than 80% of the baskets scored in the NBA came from 3 dribbles or less. But yet and still you have these kids, growing up, trying to do these 18 dribble combinations between their legs, and they think there's a difference between basketball and entertainment.
Yeah.
And these kids are practicing entertainment basketball, and they're getting caught up in the entertainment, but they're losing the basketball part of the game. So I just wanted to, kind of bring back, just the fundamentals of the game, the footwork, the passing, the 1-2 dribble pull-up, the mid-range game, being able to get open without having to take a dribble, things like that.
Do you think and one kind of is what spurred that on?
You're going to get me in trouble, but yes.
No, but I mean.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth. And one definitely started a wave of entertainment basketball, which blurred the lines of entertainment basketball and what basketball really is. And it started with N1. You're absolutely right.
Well, I mean, because all those guys are good basketball players without question.
They're good entertainers.
Yeah, but playing a true team sport day in and day out, 3 games a week, is different than doing a highlight reel show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that there's a difference between the slam dunk contest and the actual game.
Yeah, it is.
So,
but yes, that N1 mixtape tour definitely blurred the lines of entertainment basketball and what basketball really truly is here in America.
Yeah.
So I would just like to, whoever I can reach, whatever kids or youth or coaches that are willing to listen to me. I've only played in the NBA 6 years. I've been playing overseas for 10. I think I know a little something when it comes to playing at the highest levels. If they listen to me, I can, let them know that, those 15, move combinations between the legs, behind the back, spin move, this and that doesn't play to what college coaches are actually looking for.
Yeah.
That's not what the pro teams are looking for. But a lot of these kids, they like entertainment. They like the flash. They like being able to post videos on their Instagram feed and getting 1,000, 2,000, 2 million followers. So
ball is life, and
yeah.
I had the exact same conversations with the kids that were coming into high school for lacrosse. Things they were doing in junior high and even at the JV level, they'd get away with because they weren't playing against their quality. So the number one thing I always tell them is, look, that might work this year, but that won't get you up to the varsity or college level. That won't fly.
Not at all.
Because they're doing the same thing. They're, you're playing against an inferior defender, and you try all these trick things, and it works great.
Yeah.
But against a good defender, you're going to get shut down.
Yeah, exactly.
So I always try to get them, when they come in as 9th graders, into the basics: passing, catching, and ground balls. That's all I taught. I didn't talk about shooting. I didn't talk about trick shots or fancy passes. Passing, catching, ground balls.
Yes.
The basics.
Yep.
Because I talked to the UCLA lacrosse coach, and I said, "What do you look for when you're out recruiting?" And he always said defense, because I could teach kids how to shoot, but if they have natural defensive tendencies, that's what I look for. I was like, wow, that's good. And everybody, when in high school, everybody wants to shoot. I'm sure it's similar to basketball. Everyone wants to make the dunk or make the 3-pointer or whatever.
Yep.
But a lot of coaches are looking for the basic fundamentals.
Yep.
So it sounds very similar. So you have the upcoming clinic coming up in Venice Beach this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
It's a free clinic?
It's a free clinic.
How do they sign up for that, or do they just show up?
No, they can register. They can register at my website, SmushParkerElite.com.
Okay.
They're telling me the cap, they can't, for insurance purposes, So I guess it's going to be the first 60 to 70 kids that register will be able to get in.
Okay.
So whoever's listening, they better get on the good foot quickly. SmushParkerElite.com. Register your kids. I'm doing ages 8 and up. And you can follow me on Instagram at also Smush Parker Elite. That's my IG page, and you keep up to date with what I'm doing in the community, my inspirational speeches, speaking engagements with the kids, my camps and clinics, and in the future I want to start doing tournaments. I want to start, building new parks and things like that. So, they can follow me there.
You got it. What time is it on Saturday at Venice?
11 o'clock, 11 to 2.
11 to 2. And then where's it in Venice? Is it on the boardwalk there?
Yes, it's going to be right in the boardwalk beach area.
Where white men can't jump was filmed.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can also find me these days, actually, while I'm here, in fact, still here in the States. Byron Scott started up a new league called the Primetime Basketball League. It's another platform for NBA players who aren't currently playing in the NBA to play ball and showcase their skills and entertain the fans and things like that. I'll be playing for the LA Superstars this Saturday also out in Santa Ana, California.
Well, that's another good thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're busy, and then you also have not a newborn, but you have a young child.
Oh yes, I have a daughter. She's 6 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to deal with if you go to China to play? A lot of FaceTime.
Oh yeah, thank God for technology.
Yeah.
Although I won't physically be around, FaceTime and phone calls and computers and our technology keeps us definitely in touch.
Yeah, I have to do the same thing. And now my daughters are the ones that are giving me the technological tips on the backside. I'm like, how do I set this up? How do I do this? WhatsApp.
Yes, WhatsApp.
Yeah, 'cause I guess that works really well internationally.
Yes, it does.
I don't know if you're got to hook that up. Well, hey, Smush, I appreciate the time, and hopefully I'll try and get by on Saturday and see what you got going on.
Please, it'll definitely. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me expound and shed some light on what it is that I'm doing these days, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Welcome back to LA, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, I appreciate the time.
All right. No problem.
Thanks, Smush. Okay.
Thank you.